After logging to TBOHolidays account, click on Packages and search. Choose Gulf region under Packages. Click on Saudi Arabia Cruise. You'll find 3 nights and 4 nights packages. If you want to see suite details, all types of suites informations are provided here, from Vista Suite till Owner's Suite. If you are selecting, now let's say you are selecting a 3 nights package, click on Customize and Book Online. You choose, now let's say your sailing date is 24 of September. This is a 3 nights package. I am selecting 1 cabin. Nationality of the guest is Saudi Arabia. Port of embarkation, King Abdullah Economic City. 2 adults. Let's proceed. Save and book. So the pricing is given for the lowest suite available. In this case, Classic Suite Double is selected. If we are choosing a higher cabin, or let's say Deluxe Veranda Suite, double occupancy, the additional cost for this booking total is given 2,404. If I select the price ticker has chosen the additional amount, and you can see the inclusions, exclusions, terms and conditions, and cancellation policies. Okay, and proceed to book now. Enter the customer details. Customer's mobile number. Enter your own email address. Proceed to review. Here you can hold the booking on time limit for another 24 hours, or you can proceed to book and pay from your wallet. In this particular booking, we have not kept a markup, so amount shown is net payable to TBOHolidays. We also provide a cancellation protection coverage up to 5,000 GBP per booking. If the booking value is less than £5,000, the full amount will be refunded, or if it's more than £5,000, the maximum coverage will be 5,000. We need to pay 7% of the total amount which you're going to sell the package. There are 17 reasons, including COVID positive. If booking is cancelled due to any of these type of cases, full amount will be refunded. Now we'll take you through a detailed presentation on the complete facilities of the Silver Sea Spirit cruise by Mr. Lyndon Mendonca, the Business Development Manager for TBO Cruise.
You all will be too. The Saudi tourism has launched the Saudi summer campaign, and at a very high level they have charted the Redsea Spirit. I hope you all can see my screen, and this is the Redsea Spirit. It belongs to the Silver Sea, which is part of the Royal Caribbean stable, and this is a company which has been launched by Saudi tourism to ensure that they can bring cruising and luxury cruising into the Red Sea area starting effectively from September onwards, and then will be also available from the next season. It may be extended in winter, and it will also continue on towards the next season and also 2021-22. So the Red Sea Spirit, the Silver Spirit, as you see from the icon above, it's a ship that was built a decade ago. However, in 2018, they decided to have a refurbishment and they added 49% extra feet within the ship. So it's a very unique opportunity where they have an existing ship which is cut through in half and then they add another portion into it. And I will just show you what it looks like in the shipyard. So you see over here, this is something to just give you a background. It's an idea for you to discuss these kind of things with your customers because you are then seen as a point of knowledge. You're then seen as a point as an expert when cruises are concerned, besides just giving them a prize and trying to give them an itinerary. So what you see here was in the Werft shipyard in Germany, they cut the Silver Sea in half and then they attached a new portion which increased the capacity to 608 people. And the guest to crew ratio is one of the highest in the luxury industry, especially for cruising. And there is a crew member for every 1.5 or every two guests has one crew member to attend to them. So the suites on this cruise ship are across the entire ship. There are only suites. So this is in the upper level or meant for people in the high net worth category, businessmen, CEOs, and families who like to and travel in luxury when they go abroad. And this comes in a nice package from the Saudi summer campaign in 3 nights and 4 night sailings. So every aspect of the ship after its redesign has been, put into the question as how will we keep our guests comfortable? How do we maximize their enjoyment while they're on a ship? So the spaces are very, very well designed. They are of a high quality. They have a lot of amenities in the cabins and they have a lot of services in the cabins. So all of this comes together with exceptional service with a guest ratio to crew as 1 to 2 people. It is important that guests enjoy their time on board and don't have to bother about, the small nitty gritty things of unpacking their bags or ironing their clothes or making reservations at restaurants. For that, they have butlers, and these are dedicated butlers available right across all the categories of the cabins. So these are the scheduled sailings. This is, in fact, one of the greatest opportunities in terms of cruising. There has never before been cruising in the Red Sea Spirit, in the Red Sea area before the Red Sea Spirit came into being and chartered the Silver Spirit. So what is happening is there were small yachts that private people could take into the Red Sea. However, with this sailing, cruising has been put on the map between King Abdullah Economic City and the north, which is Neom, where the new city is being built, and also a stop at Ras Al Abyad, which is in Yanbu. So there are two sailings. There are 3 nights and 4 night sailings. The 3 night sailings leave every Thursday evening at 6 p.m. and the 4 night sailings go leave on every Sunday. So they're back to back, and guests can actually take a sailing across this. The 3 nights Red Sea cruise is from King Abdullah Port in Yanbu, and I'm sorry, from King Abdullah Economic City, and then it sails to Ras Al Abyad, and there's a day at sea, and then it moves on back to King Abdullah Port on these dates. And all of these are available for our guests to buy. This is a sampling of the 4 night itinerary. This goes sailing right up to the north in Neom at Magna, and there is a stopover for an overnight, and then it comes back to Ras Al Abyad in Yanbu and back to King Abdullah Port. So what you get on these sailings is what your guests have access to is to some really, really pristine waters of the Red Sea. There's Coral Islands. That area is going to develop over the next 10, 20 years to rival the Maldives and the Caribbean islands. And this is the first start of cruising there. So there are really white, virgin, pristine beaches all along the coast from King Abdullah Economic City right up to Neom. And all this is being developed to have beach facilities, have water sports, have restaurants along the spots that they stop, where the customer can get off the cruise and enjoy some water sports. Even in Neom, they're going to develop some wadi routes where you can take four wheels and go. All this is currently being put together as part of the Saudi summer campaign, and for which TBO Cruise, part of TBO Holidays, is the exclusive distributor of these cruises in the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia. We've got an online portal. All of these cruises are available from our portal to be booked very easily. The suites, part of being on a ship is to enjoy the luxurious activities and, of course, your accommodation on the ship. Everything on the ship is only a suite, and every single suite
Hi.
has a balcony. Excuse me, here. We're continuing with this. Please put your mics on mute. I'm going to give you an overview of what is the suites. We start with the Vista category of suites, and they go all along from the panorama to the grand and to the owner's suite. And these are available across the ship for your guests to book. So there are a few Vista suites. There are only 12 on deck 4. And then as you go and see in the midship variety of the classic veranda and the superior veranda suites, there is plenty of availability. So there are approximately around 250 cabins which take a maximum of 600 guests. However, in this sailing, for the concerns of health and safety, there is only going to be 450 people on board the ship on every sailing. So there is going to be social distancing. There's going to be separation within certain cabins, especially in the mid-level category. So, people have a lot of space and they are safe. So the Vista Suites, this is the starter category. Just to give you an idea, these are around 35 square meters in length. 30 square meters in length, which is 312, and then you have 12 of these suites on deck 4. This is a bird's eye view of what the interiors look like. So it has a separate ensuite facilities for the bathroom and for the washrooms, and then you have a nice deluxe queen size bed, which is a branded bed. You also have amenities like Bulgari in the toiletries, and then you have a nice sitting area for your guests. So this is the starting prices or the starting suites on the Silver Sea Spirits. The next category is the Panorama Suites. The Panorama Suites are slightly higher, and these also have the similar kind of amenities. You see there is a special bathrobe, the Ethro bathrobes, and you have Bulgari amenities here, the last line on the left hand side. Plus they have dedicated butlers, and they have a full-size bath and separate showers. So across the ship you have only suites with all these amenities given to your guests for their enjoyment on a 3-night or a 4-night cruise. This is a bird's eye view of a panorama suite and some of the suites that are midship, which are available that can be connected to some of the silver and the owner's suites on the cruise. This is another category, the classic veranda. Again, the same amenities, has a balcony, much larger, and also has all the other amenities which will be available in the lower or the higher category of suites. Bird's eye view, here you have a large number, deck 5 has 32 of these. We also have wheelchair accessible suites, and there you can see that there's a much larger suite with a veranda where at least 2 people can put up deck chairs and sit down there, enjoy reading a book or call for a nice meal where they want to have it privately within the cabin and not be seen at the restaurants. May I ask some of them to please mute your mics because I'm getting some disturbance here, please. This is another category, the superior veranda suite. And this is the layouts. As I said, they are available now on deck 7, 8, and 9 in various combinations. So we can give suites adjacent to each other or opposite each other, so that when you have families, they are very close by. Now, these are some of the best suites to sell because on the other part of the ship, this being a very small luxury boutique ship, there is easy access to the public spaces. So on deck 7 and 8, there are public spaces. You have the lounges, you have the theaters, and guests can just move very easily across. They don't have to go through the lifts and walk several areas before they reach the public spaces. The deluxe veranda, again, another category with the same amenities, and these are more midship. So when you want to sell this particular kind of suite, guests would say, I want to stay midship because I feel that it will be more stable. They are right. Yes, these kind of suites and also at the higher level of the decks are very, very stable in comparison to being a little bit in the front or the aft of the ship. However, these ships are of very, very modern ships. They have the technology and the improvements made, so they're very stabilized. Plus, the Red Sea waters are very, very calm. During these times in October, September, October, November, and December, there is fantastically good weather to enjoy outdoor sports, and these are very calm waters in which these cruise ships sail. The top end categories include a silver suite, where you will find that you can see from the image on the right, it is much, much bigger. There is a sitting area for the guests to enjoy private dining. For when they make friends on board, they can ask the butler to arrange for a chef and do private dining. They can do it within the ship, and this is how it looks. It's very, very large in size. It can accommodate about 4 people. Kindly mute your mic, please. The suites are very much larger in size. There is a one bedroom and a two-bedroom configuration with this particular silver suite, and it can accommodate up to 4 people. All of these bookings, when you have a quad request, are taken offline. We have a team who can assist you. We can respond very quickly. We take around 15 to 30 minutes to respond to any queries. You can, however, get the rates right off our system at your fingertips, and our team in KSA will assist you. You just have to call them and they'll guide you to find it. The Royal Suite is another higher category. In these suites, from the Silver, Royal, and the Owner Suites, one additional attraction for the guests is unlimited premium Wi-Fi. So, although across the ship they do have Wi-Fi available, but it may be limited to a certain number of minutes. However, in the Royal Suites and in the higher suites, this is given as unlimited Wi-Fi. There's also king size beds here, so they are bigger than the queen size beds, and they are all branded stuff. So, guests who are used to that kind of luxury at home will be very comfortable on these ships and in the Royal Suite. Here again, you'll see private amenities. In the two-bedroom, you see there's a segregated area. So if your guests are traveling with a maid and a child, they have their own privacy. Plus, they have segregated bathrooms. There are 2 bathrooms, there are 2 washrooms. So there is no, clash in the morning timings to get ready. Plus a huge balcony where they can call for food or just sit down and enjoy the sea views of the Red Sea. The Grand Suite, again, another tier up. Very few of these suites are available. Added amenities could be, the finishings where they have a teak veranda and they have the Illy espresso machines. Now, Illy is a very famous brand of coffee, which is very personalized. You may not see it around, but it's in the high-end shops and in the high-end restaurants. Usually this is found. So they have their own espresso machine in the suite. However, all of these suites have butler service, so they can call for some food or meals or beverages any time of the day. So there are only 4 of these suites, 2 on deck 8 and 2 on deck 9. And just look at the size. Yeah, this is 142 square meters. That means it's almost 1,500 square feet. This is as big as your 2 or 3 bedroom houses that we usually normally live in. And this means it's a lot of space, especially on a cruise ship. The owner suite, again, another notch above from all the suites that I've shown you, starting from the Vista, Veranda, Classic, Panorama, the Silver, and now the owner suite. Again, bigger area, more configuration, more space for your guests so that they feel really pampered, and they have round the clock 24/7 butler service. Now, this butler service is something that takes care of the guests throughout this cruise. especially when it comes to making sure that they have their clothing ready, ironed, their shoes polished, making reservations at the various restaurants, basically taking care of all their needs. One of the important things of cruising, besides the sleeps and enjoying the luxurious accommodation, is the cuisine. And on the Red Sea Spirit, because they have been chartered for 3 months to Saudi Arabia, everything in cuisine has been now geared up to cater to halal and Arabic cuisine. Um, so you have Arabic cuisine on the ship that is available right through, and this is geared for the Arabic tastes. And I will just show you a few of the areas where guests can have their meals during the 4 day or 3 day trip. Silver Spirit has 8 restaurants, and all of these restaurants are available for guests. So when the price of the cost of the cabin, even the food and meals and beverages are all included. So at all these restaurants, there's a wide variety of meals that they can take. So there's seafood at Atlante, the Italian, Asian cuisine, fusion cuisine, and also international cuisine at Silver Note. La Dame and Saishan are two specialty restaurants which are not included in the price, and this means that guests who want to take a meal at these restaurants will have to pay a little extra and order a la carte meals. Whereas the grill and the Spaccampoli, which is an Italian pizzeria, and the rest of the restaurants are included in the cost of the travel on the 3 night and 4 night cruise. So here is a listing of what restaurants are available, as you've seen in the previous slide, and where they are located and what kind of cuisine is available. So even though they are serving Italian or seafood or meat, the food is halal. It is catered towards and driven towards ensuring that it is, halal and Arabic friendly. And you have Saishin, which is a Japanese Asian fusion restaurant where you get really exquisite steaks, and all of this is halal meats. And La Dame, which is French cuisine, also catering to Arabic tastes. And if you notice here the capacities, so the Atlanta is one of the biggest restaurants. So this is meant for guests to go anytime. They can go during breakfast, lunch, or dinner. And La Terraza, and this is some of the most frequented restaurants while on the ship. Whereas when you look at the Saishin and La Dame, since these are specialty restaurants, they accommodate only 24 people. So how do you sell this to your customers? This is when customers are looking to do a celebratory meal. They want to celebrate a birthday or an anniversary, or they are doing something special. They're just celebrating something new, and they can make bookings at the Saishin and La Dame and have a nice celebratory 3, 4, 5 course meal, for which they may have to pay extra as a cover charge and order their meals as per the a la carte menu. This is some details on what are the venues, but I just want to show you what we have across in terms of food. So as you see, La Dame, which is again a specialty French cuisine restaurant, you will get these kind of foods across the ship at this restaurant, and this is always a la carte. So guests will be served. It will have a touch of Arabic and French cuisine, and you'll see some various meals over here which are normally not available in normal restaurants. You have to go to a 5 or 6 star hotel or restaurant to get this kind of food. They also promote on the Silver Sea Spirit something called salt. So it's a speciality for Silver Sea. It's called Sea and Land Taste. And what they do is, in the Panorama Lounge, which is on deck 5, and the Observation Lounge, which is on the theater level, they have created a special menu which is catering to customers and giving them a local flavor and cuisine. So they do not feel lost that they're only eating foreign foods. And like you see here, they've got a lovely name. You can get kapsa, and they've named it Rock the Kapsa, and this is available on the ship. They also have demonstrations on food. So guests who want to learn how to cook some of the specialty dishes that they've had on board, There are timings when the Michelin star chefs will be holding up culinary demonstrations, and your guests are free to join and learn how to cook certain foods. So, the entire aspect of being on this cruise is geared to keep your guests engaged. It depends on what their likes and what their dislikes are. Besides having the beverages, besides having the restaurants, there is entertainment for them. There's a lot of movies, there's a lot of cooking shows, there are a lot of signature meals that are created, and your guests can partake in any of the activities as they see fit. So, other areas where there is street food near the poolside. So you can get, local favorites like Yumish and Kaimat and Manaish. So, these are available. So guests on board will always have an Arabic flavor to their food. You also have shish barak and, Ruz Bukhari. I think all of y'all are very, very familiar with all of these names. And these are prepared by excellent chefs on the Silver Sea for the guests sailing on the 3 night and 4 night cruises for the next 2 months. Another menu, which is the Salt Kitchen dinner menu. Again, you see very exquisite foods as appetizers and main courses, and guests get a choice to choose, so they don't have to have the same food every day. One day they can have a duck salad, or the next day they can have an oxtail consomme, or in a main course they can have scallops or lamb. It all depends on what's their mood for the day. So they are geared to give their guests exactly what they want. Again, other specialities. Um, for a twist of fun, they have falafel stations and shawarma carving stations, kapsa, and even slow roasted lamb shoulder. So guests will not have any issues on the food. It is geared to their cuisine and it is dedicated for the Arabic taste. The other part of being on a cruise is when you have children. So what they've done on the Red Sea Spirit is that they have come up with program that takes care of children. So children on the cruise can be accommodated if they are over 6 months of age. Children below 6 months are not allowed to cruise. 6 months to 10 years is considered as a child. However, they accommodate at the kids club, which is called STEM, which is science, technology, engineering, and mathematics, that is blended into a nice educational entertainment for the kids under the care of these counselors during the time of the cruise. And they will cater to children from 6 months to 10 years in one of the clubs, and they will also cater to children over 10 years up to 16 years in the second club. So children from 3 to 6 are accommodated in one club, and 6 to 16 are in the Silver Sea Shipmates. And this is what is done is to keep them entertained. They have hands-on, age-appropriate edutainment during the day. So parents can leave their children safely at these entertainment zones while they can go and have their own time across the ship. Maybe they want to watch a movie, maybe they want to sit and have some coffee or have a beverage at one of the restaurants, or be outside on the decks, and they get a chance to do that. Maybe they want to do a makeover at the salon. So, children are taken care of separately. The parents don't have to be around all the time. The parents can go and enjoy all the other services on the ship. If they are needed by the children, the concierge can just buzz them on the internal communication systems, and they can go and pick up their children from the clubs. So adults have their own entertainment. Because of the sailing being chartered by the Saudi tourism for 3 months, production shows are all geared towards that taste. Keeping in mind the culture of Saudi Arabia, you have Arabic musicians on board, you have Arabic shows on board. On the 13th September sailing, you have Ahmad Diab, who will be doing a complete concert at Ras Al Abyad when the ship reaches there. On the National Day sailing of the 20th of September, you're going to have Majid Al Muhandis. Now, these are very big names in Saudi Arabia, and guests can get to go for these shows once they join the cruise. The price and the ticket is included in this. So they are paying just one price for their meals, their beverages, entertainment on board or on shore, which is all included in one singular price. So there's a lot of entertainment for adults. Besides movies, shows, and a lot of electronic entertainment for the adults, they also have lounges where they can sit down, listen to some musicians, piano players, violinists, oud players, or take part in learning some kind of dance or into any of the shows that are educative about the destination. So the very important and very distinctive feature on the Red Sea Spirit and the Silver Sea cruises is the butler. So every single suite gets their own dedicated butler, and the higher end suite has a 24/7 butler service. So what the butler does, and like you see in the image of there, the butler meets the guest on arrival. He assists them to around, shows them the different areas of the ship, helps to settle them into the cabin. He will, unpack their bags. He will ensure that everything is okay. He will talk to them in such a way that he will understand what are their likes. He may find that a couple, the husband likes black coffee in the morning while the wife would like green tea. And they are trained, they're very highly paid, and they're highly trained to ensure that they can pick up these signals from the guests, and they automatically gear to serve them the appropriate beverage at the right time. So these concierges are available at the at the beck and call during the entire trip, and they are there to serve them, look after them, bring them anything they require while they sit down and enjoy all the amenities and the luxury across the ship. So coming down to dress codes, there is a very casual, smart casual dress code across the ship. Uh, Being in Saudi Arabia, customers can also wear the kandura or the dish dash, uh, no issues. However, in the evenings, there is a requirement of formal dressing. Men are required in jackets, and at certain times they may need a tie, or it is optional, whereas the women can be in evening gowns or cocktail dress. There is no requirements at the moment for the abaya, but if guests want to wear an abaya, yes, they can continue wearing it while they're on the ship. Of course, during the separate areas, like when they are in the swimming pool, there is dress appropriate requirements. So if you're going into the swimming pool, you need to be dressed in swimwear. And if you're going into the restaurants, you cannot go with your swimwear into the restaurants. It has to be dinner jackets or dark suits. And at certain times, for certain shows and for certain meals, like at the session, they may be required to also wear a dark suit and a tie. So there are formal nights, and guests can dine at La Terraza. These are nights when the captain also comes around and mingles with the crowd. It is quite nice to be able to take a nice memoir of a picture with the captain, showing that you have sailed on the Silver Sea while it was in Saudi Arabia. So the public areas, the swimming pools will be common for ladies and gents. So there's no segregation at the public areas for the pool. However, dress appropriate is required. Swimwear is required to go into the pool. The same with the fitness clubs. And all of these public spaces are spread across the ship, so there's easy access. Besides, it's a small ship. There's only 450 people on board. So, people can just move 8 different decks. You don't have to go very far if you want to go from your cabin, which is in the fore of the ship, to, say, the restaurant or to the theater or to the fitness clubs. Uh, this is a shot of the swimming pool where you see there are 3 jacuzzis, and this is where they have the Pool Street Bar also. A lot of areas for people to sit down, enjoy themselves, and sip coffee and just have a nice time making friends on board. Those who want to swim and be a little active can use the swimming pool. Other areas which are interior public areas, and like I said, there is a theater where there is a Broadway and West End shows. All of them are Arabic themed. During the 3-night and 4-night, there are 2 shows, plus there are shows on show. This would be the Ahmad Diab concert on the 13th September sailing and on the 17th September sailing. There is plenty of availability we can give you for this week, a sell and report. On the interior public areas, they also have a chance if they don't want to go to the other concerts, sit around in the lounges at the Dolce Vita or the Canesia's lounge and just enjoy a cigar and some signature beverages. Because the cruise ship is sailing in Saudi Arabia, you just have to remember that there is no alcohol on board and nothing will be served which has any kind of alcoholic beverage, whether it is in meals or even in the French cuisine or in the signature mocktails. All of it has been going to be geared with non-alcoholic beverages right across the ship. The other area is also the Arts Cafe, which is on deck 8. It's a very nouveau, chic area where they have a lot of artworks and leather upholstery where guests can enjoy high tea and all the trimmings of a real British high tea. So you can get, cupcakes and scones during that time. It's also an area for having cocktails or mocktails with this particular cruise before dinner. Now, these are the two things. Alcohol and the casinos are not available on this cruise. So both these areas will not have these operating. They'll be converted into sitting areas and lounges. There will be no casino operating on the board, and there'll be no card room. So please inform your guests, because when they think of cruising, this should not be confused with Silver Sea in Europe, where there is a casino and there are card rooms operating. Whereas in Saudi Arabia, for this particular cruise, they will be closed during the entire 2 months. The Zagara Spa, this is another area which is highly sought of by Saudi Arabian clients and expats. The Zagara Spa is a signature spa which can give makeovers from 30 minutes right up to a 6 hour, deep cleansing, massage if they would require. All of these services are paid for. They need to book it at the concierge desk or with the front desk for a timing. So this is pretty exclusive and available to all the guests. There's also a beauty salon which is paid for. They can get a makeover, get a haircut, get dressed up for an evening out, and they need to just make an appointment and they'll be attended to. The fitness center is of course open to all. There is an aerobics area. If they take part in any kind of paid version of yoga or Pilates, then they would have to pay for that course. But otherwise, the use of the equipment at the fitness center is free. Coming to the most important part is the inclusion and exclusion. So, on this cruise ship, the Silver Sea believes in having almost everything included. So there are very less exclusions, but everything else is included. Like around the clock butler service, complimentary meals right through the day. The guests can decide to have breakfast, lunch, dinner, late night snacks anytime, or call for in-cabin service any time of the day or night. So they don't have to be there during only certain times for meals. They can do it any time of the day. Non-alcoholic beverages right across the ship and in the suites are available to them free of cost. It's all included in the one single price they pay. 24-hour room service. The STEM children's program is also available free of cost, no added payment, and they have a lot of entertainment which is included, fits, Wi-Fi, and gratuities. KSA value added tax is applied on the sale price, which has to be collected by guests. So remember that 15% on top of the cruise price is added to all sales and is collected from consumers. What is not included in this is just the specialty restaurants. The Ladam and Redsea, like I told you, are French and Japanese cuisine. Any premium cocktail beverages that are available, spa treatments, and any laundry and shopping. Some shore excursion may be charged for, but a variety of the shore excursions at Neom and Al Sindala are included, including the shores of Ahmad Diab and Majid Al Mohandes. Of course, getting to the ship at King Abdullah Economic City, which is 1.5 hours away from Jeddah City or Jeddah Airport, guests from Riyadh, Tabuk, and other provinces will have to fly in to Jeddah or to KAEC if there are flights, and then take a taxi or a private car to go and embark at King Abdullah Port. If they do like to come a day earlier, then you need to book pre and post stay for them. If you need help on this, we are happy to help you. Everything else on hotels is available from the TBO portal. You can book and include it in the pricing. So health is at the top of mind for everyone in these times, and these are being strictly observed on the Redsea Spirit. There is a health screening for COVID, which will be included in the price. Once your guest has made a booking and receives his cruise documents, which are sent 7 days before sailing, it will also include an address of a testing center in the city that your guest lives in for a COVID test, which must be done only 72 hours prior to sailing. Once they do that COVID test and they get the results as negative, they can board the ship. They need to present that result on arrival at King Abdullah Port. Without that, they would have to undergo a separate test, which may be charged for. So ensure that your guests are aware that one health screening is included in this price, and it is at a convenient location at a health center in all the cities across Saudi Arabia. While on the ship, of course, passengers and guests will be screened twice a day for temperature and for any symptoms. So there is a very high level of attention being paid to the cruise ship, the crew, and the guests. The place is continuously disinfected and sanitized, while the air conditioning is of a very high level, which only brings in fresh air. There are HEPA filters, and the same air is not recycled. It is thrown off the ship, and fresh air is included every time in the air conditioning systems. So passenger screening is high, crew screening is high, and they ensure that since there is social distancing and a very few number of cabins or suites that are going to be sold, there will be opportunities that if anyone needs isolation, there is plenty of area to isolate them safely and ensure that the rest of the guests are also safe. Some of the very important things that you should remember, because this cruise ship is chartered for the Saudi summer campaign and for which TBO is exclusive distributors, this is available only to Saudi nationals and residents. All of them must have a bilingual English-Arabic nationality ID or an Iqama to board the ship. They do not need passports. So this is within the domestic waters of Saudi Arabia. We can give you a confirmation with an hold option so that you can collect payments from the guests. So you can tell your guests, give us your details, tell us when you want to travel. We can block the suite for 24 hours without any liability. It will be automatically cancelled the next day. You can do it at your fingertips from the TBO portal. All of our cruises for the Redsea are available from the dynamic packages section. You click on the dynamic packages, you click on Gulf, and then you'll see Saudi Arabian cruise. And you click on that, you will see the two options of 3 nights and 4 nights. And within 3 or 4 clicks, by putting in the date, the number of guests that are traveling, you will have a complete quotation that you can email your guests and keep following up with them. You can take payments onto a wallet, which is available on the TBO portal. And once you say to us, go ahead and confirm it, the penalties kick in, the terms and cancellations. 25% is a cancellation if cancelled 16 days in advance, and 100% is the penalty within 15 days. Now, these may seem high, but just remember, we also have cover or guarantee protection. We have a complete refund protection guarantee scheme for your guests. This is available at a premium cost. When you're making a booking, you have to indicate to us that you would require this cover. The cost of the cover is 7% of the total cost of the sailing. So, if, for example, if your guests are booking a Vista suite for 20,000, for example, 20,000 Saudi riyals, they pay 1,400 riyals as premium. This is non-refundable, but they will be issued a guarantee for 100% of the cost of their cruise. If for any reason they are delayed, there are 17 different incidents or events that are covered, right from flight delays, from illness, death in the families, or for some reason that they have to cancel, and also for COVID. So your guests, their investment into this particular cruise sailing can be protected for a very small fee, and they can deal with the refund guarantee company directly. We give them the details, we can also help them. They need to provide the right documentation. So you can tell your guests that they can safely invest into going on a cruise, even though that the cancellation terms are high. They can invest into a cover which gives them a complete refund. For more details, please reach out to the KSA team, or please reach out to the contacts at TBO Cruise. We're happy to send you all of this on email. Again, infants below 6 months are not allowed to sail. This is for safety because the ship is at sea for 2 days. Remember, when you're on a ship, most things can be taken care of by the medical team. However, infants are suspect to a large number of incidents and require more attention, and that's the reason families who have infants are discouraged to take cruises, especially whether when they are infants up to 6 months. So kids below 10 years, they can have lower prices or they can sail for free under the new promos. We are just going to send it all out on WhatsApp to you. I think you may have already received it. There are some sailings on the 13th and 17th which have give 50% off when they book 2 suites. So the second suite gives them 50% off. On certain other sailings, it's 40% off. In some sailings, the kids can sail free. There is a very limited number of triple and quads. Remember, this is a boutique luxury ship. It caters more for couples and couples with single or two children. So triples are available. Quads are very few. So the earlier you book, the better the chances of us being able to give you availability. We also have some offers a 15% early booking offer, which has been replaced with the BOGO Ho. That is the 50% and the 30% or 40% off. Reach out to us via the query on the portal, and we will be happy to get back to you within 30 minutes. These are the contacts of my team who can assist you. If you need anything for cruises from TBO, please take a screenshot of this and save it. ops.cruise@tboholidays.com only deals with cruises. Please message us for cruises, and Akanksha or myself or Vindhya will be responding back to you very quickly. We are happy to share WhatsApp numbers and phone numbers. You can give us a call or send us a WhatsApp. We will, however, send all confirmations and all information only via email. Once you get the quotation, you can put the cabin on hold by giving us a copy of the guest karma and the nationality identity if it is an expat. It must be in dual language, English and Arabic. This is a requirement by the government and border control when you board the ship, especially when you're in domestic or in international waters. And you must give us the full name with an email address and a guest contact. Now, the reasons why we are asking for these guest contacts, I know as travel agents, sometimes you may be shy of sharing these details. However, remember, this is a luxury cruise. TBO is a purely B2B player. We do not do anything with consumers directly. But because this is a luxury cruise, they have the concierge who is going to take care of the guests, who will start calling them 3 days before. So when you have a guest book, for example, on the 13th sailing of September, the concierge will start calling these guests on the 10th, 11th, and ensuring that you have to go and get your COVID testing. Did you pack your bags? We are having the special show. Would you like to book the spa? So they are in touch with them. So it's very important that you share the contacts of your guests so that the concierge can reach out to them and also keep them informed. It also removes all the responsibility of missing out any information that you would have to give your guests. There are changes sometimes to the itinerary, there are changes to some timings, there are changes made to ensure the safety and health of the guests and the crew on board. So all of this is being communicated by the concierge team and the Redsea Spirit directly. So do not hesitate to share this information. Remember, we have a guarantee from the Redsea Spirit that they do not talk to their guests except for the particular booking that they have made. So I want to thank you all for your time and attention. I hope you're all excited about the Redsea Spirit and the cruises in Saudi Arabia. This brings us an end to our presentation, and I'm happy to answer any question that you have, and you can put it up in the chat, or you would like to ask us, if you can unmute your mic and let us know. We're happy to answer any doubts, questions, any tips that you need to make a successful sale during these trying times.